How's it going, guys? And welcome to what should I call this? We'll call it a COVID-19 motovlog, as I am currently riding to the headquarters of my company to do some admin work and such. We have been staying at home and observing all of the movement control orders implemented about 2.5 weeks ago here in KL. Across Malaysia, the whole world is currently gone absolute germaphobe crazy, rightly bloody so. This virus is shit. But still quite a few cars around apparently. Yeah, so sorry about that. I went quiet because I feel really awkward talking to my camera while I'm at traffic lights. It's a bit weird. Jesus Christ, it's hot today, man. Oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. One thing is for sure, man, without all the people on the road, people are driving like fucking nuts. Look at this guy. Oh, good Christ, it's hot. I'll tell you guys something straight up today. You're not going to be seeing me doing anything silly. It's going to be a very chill ride, namely because I have front brakes, but not very much. The brake pads on the front of my bike are almost completely gone, so I am not going to be putting myself in a position where I might need to use them too much. I'm riding using mostly my rear brake at the moment, which is fine as long as I don't go too fast. But of course, you know, I wanted to get the brakes fixed, but unfortunately all of the mechanics are closed, and and I don't trust anybody to work on my bike except for Ahmad Khan of 66 Speed Bike. And unfortunately the area where 66 Speed Bike is located has had a few cases of confirmed COVID-19. So all of the roads, that area are blocked. It's under full quarantine. So whereas the majority of Malaysia is just under what they call a movement control order at the moment, which basically means that, you know, if you have to, you can go around So it's like hence the reason I'm actually heading into work today. But you can only like go down to the shops or go to work if you're one of the people that has to go to work. And then, but even then, you know, like it's you got to, you know, maintain social distancing and all that sort of stuff. I can tell you guys, it has been very difficult for me, especially in the last few weeks. Obviously, working in a bar, in the bar line, we don't do takeaways, so we have not been able to continue service. We've had to completely shut down the outlet for these past 2.5 weeks, and still got another 1.5 weeks to go. And it's been bad, guys. I'm not gonna lie. We are doing what we can to get through it, but we're having to make some pretty difficult decisions. But I guess it's kind of the same all over the world at the moment. There's not really much you can do about it. You either have the choice of you know, doing the smart thing and staying home and not going anywhere, or you can take a risk and end up being in quite a bit of trouble. They just actually a couple of days ago increased the intensity of the control. This is what I'm talking about, man. These Grab drivers, I mean, these two boys here seem like they're fucking doing the right thing, but so many of these delivery boys are just doing whatever the fuck they want, man. I mean, just because there's less traffic on the street doesn't mean it's okay to run a red light. And yes, I'm saying that fully aware that there are a couple of videos on my channel where you can see people running red lights. Look at this fucking ridiculous, man. Chill the fuck out, man. Jeez. Look at this guy. This guy's a fucking truck running the red light. So this is one of the checkpoints down here, you can see it. So we are probably going to hit one of those on the way. My hope is, normally if you're on a motorcycle, they don't bother you too much. They just kind of let you go about your business, because, you know, you're usually alone and everything. But you know, we'll see how it goes today. I could be taking a risk doing a video right now. As far as I know, it's not illegal or anything, but you never know, man. Some people might get sensitive about it. Like, why you know, that looks like a recreational thing. Well, they can just pass it off as safety. They don't need to know that I'm recording a video, motovlog or anything. But yeah, like I said, we're just gonna chill. We're not worried about going fast or getting anywhere quickly. Go a little bit faster though. So yeah, so the last motovlog I did was introducing you guys to Sarah Jane, and you know, telling you about how different she was from my ER6, etc. I've had you know, a couple more months to get to know her, get to know how she works, how she feels, and I've confirmed 100% that clutchless shifting on this bike is definitely a no-no. She does not like it at all. In fact, sometimes I end up doing it without thinking, and it very nearly bit me in the ass. Probably about a month and a half ago. I was coming around a corner, and you know, it's just like normal, you know, normal corner, kind of like, you know, like maybe a little bit tighter than one of these, nothing serious. But as I was going around the corner, it slipped out of gear because I had done a clutchless shift before I entered it. Fuck, man, very nearly crashed. Just suddenly there was just no torque to the back wheel, and she just swung out wide like you wouldn't believe. So it's one of those things where I talked to my mechanic about it, and I was like, do you think it's a gearbox or something like that? And he's like, do you have a quick shifter on it? And I'm like, no. And he's like, well, have you been clutchless shifting? I'm like, yes. And he goes, right, well, that's probably why, because apparently I'm not getting enough of a pull on the gear lever to get it into gear. So it's kind of like semi-engaging, and then that's when it drops out. So I've been slowly but surely training myself out of doing clutchless shifts. By the way, guys, so we're going to be coming up to a roadblock in a minute. So I don't know. I really don't know if I'm going to be okay getting through this. Of course, if anybody asks, if they stop me and ask, I'm just going to say that yes, I'm recording, but it's for safety, in case something happens. I'm pretty sure I can pass it off like that. People have dash cams over here, so why not? God, I love this bike so much, man. She's just cruisy, man. She just likes to cruise. There we go. This is one of the advantages to being on a motorcycle. We're gonna see if they wave us through. I don't know if they will. There you go. No troubles, mate. Yeah, they don't usually bother us too much. I think it's just because you're riding alone. You already got a face shield on and all this sort of stuff. Of course, I'll be honest, man. I'm paranoid about this thing. Like, I am not so much worried about my health or anything, but just the idea of ending up like bedridden for fucking 2 weeks and the risk of passing the virus on to my parents-in-law who are in their 70s, like, definitely not something that I would want to do. So yeah, and yes, I am one of those unfortunate guys that lives with the in-laws. But it has its benefits. So yeah, so that was pretty much the only roadblock. There's not really much else that we're going to be hitting. I mean, as you can see, normally, like, there's still people on the roads. It's not, I mean, obviously a lot less than what we would normally see, but it's not too bad. The country is still somewhat moving. It's mainly the tourism, like the people industries that have taken a big hit. Tourism, restaurants, hospitality. I mean, it's really sad, honestly. Like, I was so sad to have to close my bar down, knowing what the repercussions were going to be. But what can you do? Like, we gotta do the right thing. I only just wish that it was possible for us to do like beer deliveries, because dear God, man, I know that there's a lot of people out there that could use a nice fucking craft beer. God knows I've been missing my delirium so much, man. despite being a bar manager, I don't actually drink that much, to be honest. I actually, usually, you know, when I come to work, I might, you know, have a taste of one of the draft beers, like, you know, just like a little bit like this. And then, you know, of course, maybe once a week, if one of my preferred clients comes in, then, you know, I'll sit down and have a couple of beers with them. But no, I don't drink too much. But it's funny, more than anything, I just miss that beautiful, you know, it's just, you know, it's a chill drink, you know, it's the sort of thing you drink when you just want to chill out. Food Panda! I mean, well, I know I said I wasn't going to do anything crazy, but hey man, it's a fucking empty road. What do you expect me to do? We'll do a little launch later on, I think, from one of the traffic lights. I suck at launching this bike, man. I'm not good at it at all. Move, little buddies! Watch out, watch out, watch out. Fucking cunts running fucking red lights in the city, man. That's what you gotta be careful of. There are people around here that will fucking just run the red light without fucking thinking, oh, it's a lockdown, there's no one around. I'm sure it'll be okay if I just run the red light without even fucking slowing down. I've seen it too many times. There's a, you know, I mean, you've already seen how many motorcycles are running red lights here. You know, and cars are doing it as well. That's the worst thing. The main thing I'm concerned about, to be honest, is not really the virus. It's just the economical, you know, well, is that the right term? The economical situation. You know, you don't want to be. The world has taken such a hit financially from this. You know, for sure, there's going to be some severe repercussions in terms of crime rates, you know, poverty. Just think of all the fucking poor people that are dying, man. Like, oh jeez. You know, first they're going to die from the virus, next thing they're going to die because they can't get the right fucking help from their governments or whatnot. Terrible, terrible, terrible time. But you know, there are some bright sides to it, I guess. I mean, you look at the fact that, like, you know, global greenhouse gas emissions have dropped temporarily. You know, it goes to show you that we can fix this. Like, you know, we can fix the other crisis. Like, we're dealing with this major viral crisis at the moment, and then a financial crisis after that. But at the end of the day, the one that's lingering, the one that could literally destroy the planet, which is global warming, you know, it showed us that, yeah, it's, you know, it's quite possible for us to turn it around. You know, it's going to take a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of money, and it's going to take a lot of sacrifice, but it's definitely possible. I also kind of just like the fact that it's, you know, pardon me, it's just quiet around, you know, like, it's, you can actually hear the birds, and you know, you're not just hearing cars and people and noise, all of that sort of, like, you know, sub noise has just disappeared. So there's another roadblock we're actually not going to be going through this one, because there's a neat little trick that I know to get past it. You know, I'm not really worried about getting pulled over, but it's more of a case of like, I just would rather save my time. So we are going, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, we're not going to KLCC today. We are going to drop in at our HQ, which is actually not far from KLCC, just around the corner really. And hopefully they won't have any problems with me parking out the back, considering that we're not supposed to be doing deliveries and whatnot. Otherwise because I think in this building, like originally before, back in the early days, you didn't have to actually have the parking downstairs for motorcycles were free. But these days, I think they actually charge you for it, and they charge you the car rate, which is ridiculous, man. But we're gonna see if we can. No way, is that a Z? No, it's a Z800. No, it's a Z250 actually. I don't really want to park out front. I'm gonna try and zip out the back here. Fuck it, and we're gonna go down. I can't see very well. Can I just go through? Can I just go through, man? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay, well this is the Troika, guys. So there is a fantastic restaurant in this building. When the lift down ends, if you haven't been, I would highly recommend it. It's called Troika Sky Dining, and it takes up the whole, what is it? I think it's like the 22nd floor of the building. Awesome restaurant. There's a bunch of bars and different restaurants and stuff there. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for watching, and of course, stay safe, stay at home, don't do anything ridiculously stupid, and until next time, have a good one. Where is it?